Before I start my oral presentation, let me introduce myself. I have spent a tragic 6 years on this game. And my best rank is Platinum 3, so I am as reliable as Jake Paul. But I swear in front of Jesus Christ and in front of Belle Delphine that I will speak to the best of my knowledge. First of all, I wouldn't recommend playing Vlad right now because he is sitting on a wonderful 45% win rate in the top lane for Season 11. The game right now is more unbalanced than an obese person on a motorcycle. So I would recommend you to stay behind the scenes and wait for the next patch. Vladimir had a bigger power spike with Spellbinder in Season 10. So, in a nutshell, this champ is at a worse spot than my financial status. But as a Vladimir connoisseur, I will do a quick guide for you just in case you misclick on the vampire during the champ select. So prepare yourself to take some notes because Socrates is about to spit some knowledge. 4 items, you will go Rocket Belt as a mythic item, Cosmic Drive for cooldown reduction, get a big spike at Rabadon Death Cape. For the last 2 items, don't get too creative and build Zanyas and Void Staff. On the rune side you take Sorcery aka Phase Rush, Nimbus Clock, Transcendence and Gathering Storm. But if you are a moron just like me that learned to tie his shoes only last week, I would recommend you to take Scourge instead of Gathering Storm because game are not long enough to let you scale anymore. Gathering Storm is good after 30 minutes but games are shorter than a midget. On the inspiration side, you take Boots and Cosmic Insight. Now that I revealed my magic hat trick, let's jump right into summoner spells and matchups. So obviously, as every other degenerate player on this game, you will always abuse and take Flash. A champion without Flash is like a painter without his brush. Now there is probably some triggered Shaco, Olaf, heck-airing mains that will say that my statement is a Alex Jones flat earthers conspiracy theory. So before those players send a hitman to my zip code, I will translate this gibberish. Generally speaking, most of the champs take Flash and the reason behind it is that it makes the difference between staying alive and being processed meat. Now if you play Vlad mid, I would recommend you to take Ignite. What I like about Ignite is that it gives you the opportunity to play from behind the entire game if you get solo killed once in lane, which will result in smashing your keyboard. From another perspective, if you want to win games, then play Vlad top with Teleport. In the top lane, you can play the Edgelord as Science designed him. Which means that you will have an easier time scaling. What I am about to say is really brave, so please be ready to stand up and give me a round of applause. When you play Vladimir in the top lane or mid lane, but especially in the top lane, you have to be careful about some jumpy majorette champions because you might end up as a dusty punching bag. But there is something you can do about those champions that harass you like a scout girl that is trying to sell you cookies. It is something no silver or bronze player ever heard about. It's called wave management. So if I extend my algorithm, if you freeze a wave near your tower, then those champions will be scared to jump under your tower because it is basically a restricted area in Hogwarts. So adapt your style depending on the matchup, and I would recommend you to go aggro at level 5. Now that my clickbait of a title and my sponsor is out of the way, let us jump into action. Before the game started, I was in a dilemma. I asked myself if I should dodge the game and go play a ladder and snake, or if I should play a better champion like a tank or something which will result in me being a happier person in life. So I instantly locked Vladimir. So what you are about to observe is a high gastronomy play with my signature champion. A play that won't put you on the edge of your chair. But just a play that will prove you that Vlad isn't as useless as an illiterate in front of a algebra equation. Before that, I have to admit my crime. I ordered Yuumi straight from Amazon on a Black Friday sale. Having a cat in my backpack made me realize that you need an engineer degree to understand Yuumi counterplay. Now you might say that my alternative account has a cringe name, and I will have to agree with you. The reason is that I like to get verbally assaulted. But anyway, enough of my biography. So at the state of the game, I was more fed than a vegan at a vegetable party, and the enemy team was complaining more than Trump at the election about the Vladimir and Yuumi combo. They were complaining to the point where they were as toxic as a chemical bathroom. So, My employees did not want to group after landing phase. So I asked myself if they started to do their yearly tax report because I was left alone against 5 teenagers. But apparently my paraplegic team refused to group because they were busy trying to find what was a time zone. I felt like talking to a wall was more productive than talking to those Pokemon species that I am supposed to call a team. After some kind of miracle, we grouped mid and my mom said that she won't feed me tonight unless I assassinate the enemy team. So it was basically the bat signal for me. I ran toward them at Olympic speed and I made Mr. Purple Flying Alien and Senna evaporate. This made me realize that it will be another hard season for all attack damage carry main. Then after I promised my team that I will buy them ice cream after the game because they grouped, Blue Grim Reaper wanted to skip the line in order to kidnap my cat. But my team reminded him that you need to be patient in order to get an autograph at Comic-Con. So we made Kane Aldeti before sending him at the back of the line. After a philosophical debate between my teammates, we found Yasuo and the Grinch with a lantern. What I like about this samurai is that like most Yasuo players, his IQ is lower than the number of letters in the alphabet because he thinks that his wind wall makes him invincible. So after we killed Thresh, we agreed to play tag with Yasuo. He ran away from us. But I was assigned as a class president and I was informed that no student is allowed to leave class without permission. So I sent the Katana abuser to his punishment. Afterwards, I rocket belted in inverted mode to make sure that I show my stupidity to the rest of my team. At this point I was more excited than a 15-year-old girl on TikTok. I thought that I was chosen by the Greek gods and that after this game, my team will vote me as the next Hokage. So after I putted to bed 2 of our enemy, I checkmated myself by letting this purple man outplay me. After playing an extra 5 minutes in the kid playground, the enemy team chose to give us the Quidditch Cup this year. Thank you for watching and feel free to add me on my account Salty Salter so we can talk about your favorite One Direction song. I wish you a wonderful day.